Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Meet Me in the Center. My name is Andrew. Just wanted to make a quick video. I'm going to be basically recording this video really quickly and then just quickly doing a rough edit and shooting it right onto YouTube. But there are a couple of space news that have come up, and I kind of want to talk about it because for one of them especially, I have a bit of a conspiracy theory. But first of all, the first thing I wanted to ask is, did anyone see the beautiful lunar eclipse this morning? I was able to get up and I watched it at about 3/4 to a full eclipse, and it was absolutely stunning. There was barely a cloud in the night sky. You could see Orion and Cygnus beautifully from my apartment balcony. Along with the moon, and it was just stunning. I know not many people are probably all that interested in that kind of thing, but I am. I always have been. Even as a little kid, I looked up at the stars and was always amazed by it. I even so in university I took astronomy as one of my classes because in Canadian universities, I don't know if it's the same in the States or in the world, but if you're like, for instance, if you took social science like I did, you were required to take either an English or arts course, a math course, and a science course as well, just to kind of round out your education a little bit. So because I was in geography, I had to take stats anyway, so that was the math done. I took classical history, which is basically ancient Greek, ancient Roman history, and that worked out for my arts course. And I took astronomy because, quite honestly, I've never been overly interested in most of the sciences. I took them basically because I had to. In high school, I was never really interested in any of that. I guess I got the most out of biology, but like I say, astronomy has always been a passion. So I thought, why not? Why not go for it? And that's what I did. But I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of stories. Now, to be fair, I look for stories that have to deal with outer space and astronomy. And there have been a lot of them lately, especially with the James Webb Telescope and the new discoveries that it's been making, which are amazing. If you have time, go look at some of the images. They're just, to me, they're just beautiful. But there have been a lot of stories recently about asteroids passing by the Earth. And this is where my conspiracy theory, as I'm coining it, is growing. There has almost been a story that I have found almost every day for the last 3 to 4 months about an asteroid, some smaller, some bigger, some planet killers passing by Earth. Now, none of them have really come to a distance where we're worried, at least yet. But there have been 1 or 2 that NASA has kind of been more worried about in the future, and they've been working to try and figure out their paths, their orbits, basically, to see if they will collide with Earth any point in the future. But my curiosity is like, why is this happening like almost every day where there's a story released about it? And I have a couple different theories, and most of it is conspiracy theory. There's no real backing to what I'm about to say, so take it with a grain of salt. I am too, but I've got a couple of different theories of what could be happening. So first, I've got to point out the obvious theory, right? We have moved into a portion of space that is more like a shooting gallery when it comes to big rocks floating around in space. I believe I was reading that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, although there's supposedly new evidence that the asteroid didn't kill the dinosaurs, it was something else that happened. I haven't read into that yet. I still have to. I'm trying to catch up on that. But that asteroid apparently came from this like region of space. I don't know if that's true or not. I've read that in one story and I haven't been able to verify it so much. But if that's true, I mean, we have had a couple of planet killers. And by the way, the asteroid that knocked out the dinosaurs, or supposedly knocked out the dinosaurs, wasn't even a planet killer. There are asteroids up there that could do a lot of damage to Earth. So I think, like I said, one of four things is happening. The first is that there's just a bunch of asteroids passing by us recently. That's fine. But my second theory is that they are using this as a new fear tactic. So if you have read the news or watched the news media since 2019, since late 2019, one thing has dominated our news headlines, and that has been the you-know-what virus. And I think at this point, people are kind of done with it. Even now, though, they're releasing new reports that, for instance, now they just recently released one that said, oh, there are 300 variants of Omicron, and every single one is more resistant to the natural immunity and to the vaccines than ever before. So we need to worry about this kind of thing, and it's trying to create a bit of fear. People who are fearful are more easily controlled. That's just psychological fact. It's much easier for the government to get away with things when people are afraid. Good example of this was like after 9/11, they passed the Patriot Act. I don't think that Patriot Act would have been able to be passed before 9/11, but people, wanted to be safe. They were afraid that this could happen again, so they wanted to stop it. So it could be some way of them realizing, oh wait, COVID isn't working anymore. What can we move on to? And there's always been something that's created this state of fear. So like, it's been crime rates in the past. It's been, global warming and flooding in the past. It was COVID, like I said. This could just be the season of asteroids, as it were. The third theory I have is that NASA or the governments know something that they're not telling us. It theoretically could be possible that something's coming our way and they already know about it. It may have passed even years ago, because some of the asteroid orbits do cross Earth, and it's just a timing issue. So if they're here and we're here, then they're going to hit us, essentially. So maybe they know something that they haven't said, and so this is them getting us prepared for asteroid. At least it will be in our subconscious at this point. And it is also interesting that they just did the first of the DART tests. So I forget what DART stands for. It's an acronym for something. But basically what it is they shoot something at the asteroid and try to move it just enough that it moves so that it won't fall into our atmosphere, essentially. That they only need to move it a couple of degrees usually off of its course, and then it won't be an issue for us until potentially later in time. So it's interesting that that's all happened. But that has been scheduled for a while, so I don't know. But I think it could theoretically be that. Maybe something's coming and they're just kind of starting to get us in the mindset. Fourth theory, and to me the most interesting, but also maybe the least likely, I think, of the theories I've mentioned here. The fourth theory is that they are using asteroids to hide something else. So they are trying to distract people and they are using asteroids to do that, basically. So it's like, how do I explain? So if there is something that they don't want you to look at, they're going to jump and scream and yell and say, look over here, look over here, look over here. That way you're distracted enough that hopefully you don't necessarily see that. Now, I have absolutely no idea what they're trying to distract us from, but I've had people give me a couple of ideas of what it could be. I don't think they're very likely, personally. I've heard things such as like a rogue planet that's coming into our solar system that's going to cause absolute chaos and destroy everything. I mean, it's possible. There are rogue planets out there that get shot out of their solar system and travel through space. It is theoretically possible. It's a little unlikely, but it's possible. Aliens has been another one. They're trying to distract us from, things that have happened or are happening around extraterrestrials and UFOs and stuff like that. I mean, again, that's possible. I do believe aliens exist. I cannot believe in a universe with 200 plus trillion stars and probably about the same amount of planets that we are the only planet that has life. I cannot believe that. So I think that life is likely. My issue would be that, is it likely that there's any life other than us in the Milky Way galaxy? And I don't think it is. I don't think that's likely. I'm guessing that per galaxy there may be one or two sentient life that may develop space travel technology. If that, it may be even less than one per galaxy. This is all speculation, obviously, but that is a lot of distance. If it's not from our galaxy, that is a huge distance. And even in our galaxy, that's a huge distance to travel. So the question would be why they want to travel and why they would want to spend that distance to get to us and why they would want to be here in the first place. I don't know, maybe they're archaeologists. Who knows? There could be reasons why they would want to visit, but I don't know. So those are my 4 theories right now. Honestly, if I were to rank them most likely to least likely, I think honestly, being a realist, I think it is most likely that we're just the first one. We're just kind of any region of space that's a little bit more rough right now than we have been for the past multiple thousands of years, and I think that we've just kind of moved into the shooting gallery area, which isn't great for us. I mean, there's a lot of rocks out there, and unfortunately, most asteroids, by the way, are not detected until after they pass by us. The one that I was reading earlier this morning as I was watching the full moon, the one news story, they actually discovered it before it passed us. It was supposed to pass, I think, about 5 million kilometers away from the Earth, which in the grand scheme of space is actually not a very big distance. It sounds like a big number because it's 5 million kilometers, but it's actually not that distant. And although this one was a much smaller asteroid than some of the ones that have passed by recently. So there you go. So I think that's the most likely. I think that it could be, out of the others, if I was to guess, honestly, they've always played this fear-based media play. Michael Crichton wrote a great book a while back called State of Fear. It's a fiction book, but it has so much nonfiction that it's almost a nonfiction book. Michael Crichton is the only writer I know that writes a fiction book and includes bibliography at the end. So yeah, I mean, it could be just that they're trying to control us a little more, because COVID is working less and less as we go. As to, is it really hiding anything? I mean, maybe, but I think that's unlikely. I think when you get to that big of a conspiracy, it's very hard to keep it hush-hush. There are so many working parts that would have to be involved that it's very hard for it to get to not get out there and get leaked. I mean, it's hard for Disney to keep characters quiet that are coming into their Star Wars series. So and kudos for them, because they have done it a couple times, but others have been leaked very easily, and that's just a Disney thing. So something with way more working parts, I think it's likely that it would get leaked. I mean, as for potential impact of an asteroid, statistically, we're overdue. We are overdue for an asteroid impact. There hasn't been one in quite a while, and I forget the number that it usually occurs, but we are overdue for that at this point. So maybe it's coming, and maybe they know. I don't know. I would hope that they tell us, but then again, if it causes mass panic, maybe they would choose not to. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Do you think any of those are possible, or is one more likely than the other? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to. And if not, hey, that's totally up to you. Till the next video, I hope you have a good week. Bye-bye.